How would it feel to have a thriving fitness business and have the freedom to enjoy life at the fullest? Well, that is exactly what the Trainer Revenue Multiplier Show is going to give you. My name is Mathew Park. This is Jaime Filer.
Hey guys.
And we are here to serve. Guys, welcome to our show, TRM. Jamie and I are pumped to have you guys here with us, guys, because we actually have a special guest over here on the TRM show today. He is a visionary, a gym mover and shaker, a guy who's been around the industry for over a decade, maybe even two by now. And this guy is just unbelievable. His name is Angel. He has Elev8tion Fitness from Miami, but now apparently he's expanding all over the United States. So Jamie and I are pumped to have a chat with him today and learn more about his mind, his visions, his growth, his awesomeness. So welcome, Angel.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on this show.
So Angel, tell us your backstory, because of course you were in real estate for quite some time before you actually came into fitness, I believe it was. Was a elite trainer for quite some time as well. Learned the ropes in there, then kind of from there moved into having your first gym, I believe, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I got started super young. I was 20 years old when I jumped into real estate as an agent. And again, whether it's real estate, finance, or even the gym world, my goal is always to learn more and to navigate through the industry and figure things out. So it led me to here.
And it's funny enough, actually, guys, in the very top, you'll see that there actually is a thing about Angel went from 1 to 4 gym. That actually is a spelling mistake. Jimmy actually realized this a second ago. He actually has 4 gyms, opening his 5th gym, right, Angel?
Yes. Yes. I was going to say something in the email that I will get to it in the conversation.
He's growing so fast. I'll pass over to Jamie for a second. Or Jamie probably has some questions or something she wants to share with you as well. So.
Yeah, of course. So I have a list of questions. The first one was, did you always know what made you go from real estate to gym? I guess at this point, gym franchising really, but I guess at that point, just going from real estate to opening your first gym.
Well, I'll tell you, the whole gym business, it was never something I thought about. I know there are people out there that it's their lifelong dream to open up their own gym. It wasn't. I just knew when I was in real estate, and I worked I was in retail banking for a while. I was always in a suit and tie, and my gym bag was always in my trunk. So I'm like, I couldn't wait to get to the gym. And it got to the point where I think many people can relate, where, people start asking you questions, you start looking a certain way. It's like, oh, so what do you do? And I really fell in love with the part where I get to help people on a one-on-one. So I said, well, you know what? Long story short, I just gave all that up and really, threw myself into the trenches with a corporate company at the time. This was like probably 12 plus years ago. Yeah, about 12, 13 years ago. And I said, you know what, let me just go the training route. Let me see how this goes. And from there, it was just from one company to, actually just 3 companies in general, but really learning from the ground up, and at least the companies that I worked with and also people that I worked for, I was very fortunate to be around a group of mentors, and which I can call friends now, and that have kind of paved the way. In a sense, also, they're in amazing spaces in the industries themselves. Some of them are not even in the fitness industry anymore, but we are very like-minded, in a sense that we're always kind of feeding off of each other's energies. What's going on with you? What's going on with, what's the next step? So for me, it's that type of attitude and also network that kind of led me to where I'm at.
Matthew, do you have a follow-up? Do you have
that was pretty phenomenal. I'm not going to lie, Jamie.
Okay, so I will just keep going. So when you went from 1, how did you know that it was time to open up 2? And then was 3 really easy? And then 4?
Well, to go to even from 1, prior to Elev8tion, I worked for, I had built and managed another facility for someone else, just short-lived, maybe 8-9 months, and that went under. So it got to a point when that happened, I'm like, well, do I go back to work for X and YZ company? I have to scout for a job. And really, it was another friend of mine, which kind of said, Angel, you know how to do this. Go on your own. A little hesitant, but I said, I'll start off with a 5,000 square foot space. And then within that building, that's the downtown location, which today is now 16,000 square feet. there was a space next door, and it's always there. You know, the landlord would always tell me, "Hey, if you want to take the space, let me know." I was always hesitant, but then as we started growing in numbers, I saw the demand, and my background in real estate, and also I'm pretty, you know, I like math, so that has helped me a lot with this, even with the gym equipment. So I kind of put the numbers together, and I realized, oh, I can make this happen. So, you know, fast forward from 5,000 to 10,000 square feet. And again, same thing with the spot in South Beach. I know the landlord. I was trying to get him a tenant, and he'd tell me, "Angel, why don't you take it for yourself?" So to be really honest with you, I just lowballed him, and we kind of said, "What the heck? Let's just do it." Same thing with Miami Shores, and I worked on a certain budget. After that, not that it became easy, but I did begin to build more so of a system within the organizations, and I'm still building it as we speak. So I think that's one of the biggest pluses, and I have a great team around me now, even a great partner where I'm able to build a system. We're building a system that hopefully, you know, and it's working, that systematically we can grow one to the other location. For example, the one in Vegas that we're doing now, it's pretty great. You know, I think I have a great team. It's pretty much almost plug and play. I went out there for a couple of days. I knew what I had to do. And now it's, you know, 3 to 4 weeks out.
So have you been building, other than the first one, have you been essentially building your gyms from scratch, or do you buy turnkey gyms and then flip them using your team and your system?
So prior to Elev8tion, I worked, kind of goes into this. I worked for other companies, which I was just, you know, just kind of I guess on the back end, helping out, moving equipment, and I saw how things were. So when I got to build a gym prior to Elev8tion, it was just an existing shell. Then when I built Elev8tion, I took a shell and I just kind of placed things throughout, you know, strategically. But as we grew, and now our 4th location, I did take over a gym. But I had finally the experience to what it is to acquire an existing facility and how to, I don't want to say change the vibe, but really kind of transition X brand to Elev8tion. And that for me it's been fun. It's been fun because when you're doing that, you know, the members, the people, they have their day-to-day. They're walking into their gym. It's not my gym, or it's not Elev8tion. It's their gym. And they take ownership of it. So for me, it's just it's been great, and kind of seeing both doing something from scratch and taking over a gym. I prefer the taking over the gym, just because obviously the business is there, but It's also the connection with people is instant.
Yep. Yep. And then you just have to make sure that you're not stepping on their toes, and again, it's their gym. You're just the guy who bought it. So you have to be super respectful of their space, right?
Absolutely. Same thing with the staff. I know other businesses, they'll come in, they'll just clean house, they'll do what I'm a little, I don't want to say too nice, but I like to take the friendly approach, and obviously with common sense and logic in mind that it does make sense for the business. But yeah, everyone can get along. There's no reason why not.
I love that. So this brings me to my next question. Anyone who is familiar with the downtown Miami Wynwood area knows that there was another famous gym opened up by someone who was really big on Instagram and YouTube, drug busted in 2018. How do you make sure to stay in your lane and let that stuff go and not, there's no way to say it. How do you separate yourself from something like that happens literally down the street?
So I'll tell you, I don't know if you know this, that's the gym that I built.
No way, really? But you weren't running at the time.
So that is the gym prior to Elev8tion that I had the opportunity to build from scratch, and that's a short-lived one.
Right.
So that gym was owned by a gentleman, and there was 2 ownerships. The guy, and big influencer, big YouTube following, and when everything hit the fan, I had to think of that, because honestly, even myself, by no association, but I would be in the supermarket, and members would recognize me because I lived in the area. Like, oh, how come you didn't get arrested? How come? And I'm like, whoa, I had nothing to do with it. But opening Elev8tion, I did have to set a certain standard. And again, it's obvious. This is it's not just a bodybuilding gym, but it's surrounds the culture, the fitness industry. So I'm very open with it. I'm very receptive, but I as far as within our four walls, I'm very careful in how we manage it. Like I've had plenty of legal TRT approaches, clinics approach me, and I'm, for the most part, yeah, I could with no problem. Even today, now that that's behind me, but it's something that I still kind of, it's a great area, especially now that I'm looking to, expand our wings and go into other areas. I have to be receptive and respectful to the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Wow. You redefined it, Angel. You redefined and restructured the culture that is so beautiful because, talking to your trainers, even in the gym, they have so much mad respect and love. It's crazy how much respect they have for you, right? Which shows how much you had to build from where, 5-6 years ago to where you are now, and just redefine. Now you're building your fifth gym. That's incredible. That's quite a story, actually, Angel.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. And that I tell people that respect, I'm right there with them. I may not be on the gym floor, but I've been there. I've done that, and I understand where they're coming from.
But I guess, going back to that, building all these gyms, what's your, it's kind of a big question, which might give you more answers, but what's the mental thought process that you have when you get into business? Obviously, of course, you mentioned you're a numbers guy, which of course you're a numbers math guy, which of course is important, but numbers and math are also coincide with customer experience as well. What's the mental mindset you have going into growing your business? Like, obviously in the back of the wall, you got those wonderful phrases behind you from a gift from your client, but what's that mindset of Angel? What's that mindset of yours?
I would say I speak on this a lot. It's adapting, adapting not only to people, and understanding them, but also adapting to circumstances. Because I can sit here and tell you all the worst things that has happened to me, all the awful things that are going to continue happening. But for me, it's like, all right, this is going on. Let me figure out how this can benefit me. Let me see how I can make this a positive. How can I turn this around? Always looking at the worst case scenario as almost like that needed to happen for me to get to where I'm at. I would say that type of mindset, that frame of mind has allowed me to grow and to understand. And also it checks my ego. It's something that, okay, Angel, slow down. What's the next step? You didn't have it all together here. Let's move on. Let's move forward. But yeah.
Wow. So now that you've got this fifth gym kind of going, before that though, is your gym a franchise, Angel, or not? Is it a franchise model?
Not yet, but the models that I'm rolling out in Las Vegas, we have our first one out. I saw another location in Vegas, but the whole idea is to be in Vegas and have a franchise model. I get approached, I don't want to say every day, but I do get approached pretty often with people that want to open their own gyms. Sometimes I tell them, don't do it because it's not for everyone. But, I do see the passion behind people, and I'm an open book. Like many other gym owners can sit down and tell you, oh yeah, Angel has shown me how to do so-and-so. I don't keep secrets. It's not a secret. This is what it is. So if in the future, I'm able to really build a system around the people and giving other people an opportunity to grow, because everyone has different levels of successes, reasons for successes, or whatever it is they define success, or their gyms. There are people that want to have one. That's it. That's good for them. If I'm able to help them get them there, and whether it's via the system, via the brand, or combination of everything, why not? So I hope that Vegas, goes in the, I guess, in the direction that it's heading to, and can allow a bridge between other counties, other states, and allow for these franchises to pop up. But yeah, I would love to see it happen.
Wow. Questions, Jamie? You want to ask Angel any questions?
Yeah, I think the next one I want to go into, which you started off with, what are the top 3 qualities do you believe make a successful gym owner?
Oh, I would say experience. A lot of people, they want to, and maybe in every industry, is to really get their feet wet, work for a gym, start off from the bottom up. If you really want to get involved, I see a lot of these, obviously, corporate gyms, big gyms being popped up everywhere, and there could be a 40,000 square foot facility, and we can be a small little 5,000, but the community is built around the ownership, managers, and that only comes from experience. At bottom line, even when it comes to the gym equipment, I would say network. You network of people. I have members. Actually, just yesterday, A girl I signed up maybe like 8 years ago. She hit me up, Angel, I want to, join your gym. I guess she's in the area. She brought a friend. And that's just the member. The network that I've built in the past 10, 12, 20 years are all also because I've done good by them and vice versa. We support each other. And I think network is important. And then the third thing would be you as a person, it's your personality, like your values, who you are, how you treat people. And that would be probably the most important, because depending on that is how, is your network, is your experience, is your opportunities. But I would say that. I would say experience, network, and who you are.
I like that. I like those.
Yeah.
How do you balance now? Right now, are you married or are you engaged, Angel?
I am married. I just got married. I just had my 1-year anniversary about a week ago. Married, have a stepdaughter, and fully family owned.
Now, how does that balance come in fact now? Now that you have a family and you have the businesses, how do you use the word balance or integration? How do you balance those two out now as you're growing everything, right?
Well, I think one of the most important things I've learned is, again, through trial and error, is your partner, whoever you're with, they have to understand what your goal is, who you are, how you function. So my wife, it's even weird to say it. My wife, until this day, she is also an entrepreneur. She owns her own business. So when it comes to the work life, the 24/7, she gets it. She's all about it as well. So if I have to storm out of the house at 6 a.m, I have something happens, it's not like, where you are, what are you doing? No, it's like, how can I help you? What's going on? You let me know if you need anything. So it's very much a partnership within our home, but also, we do bring, I don't say not to, but we bring our business home, but not on a negative. We may share some negative stories, but we definitely, I look for her input. I look for her advice, and vice versa. She's building actually her new shop right in the same plaza of Miami Shores. And I'm helping out as much possible with everything I have going on. I find the balance. I sometimes don't know how I do it. I swear to you, sometimes I'm like, Angel, you have 152 things going on. I don't know, but it works. And until I hit a wall, I don't know how I'll keep going.
Any thoughts, Jamie? That was good.
Well, I mean, I like the idea of partnership. And my next question was going to be about your values, because you indicated at the beginning of the call, the quest to learn more is clearly a core value of yours. And I was wondering what other ones you kind of held by.
Communication. I think one of my core values is, and I go back to the adapting. It's adapting to people, how you treat people. And again, when I got into this, I started off as a trainer. I actually, I'll tell you this. I didn't know, I didn't have any kind of degree in physiology, exercise science. I did gun for one of the, I worked for Equinox in New York City, high profile gyms, high profile people. And they actually turned me down. They said, well, you don't have any experience. You have people around you with, masters and PhDs. What are you going to do for us? I'm like, well, give me an opportunity and I promise you I can do this. So I besides learning the fundamentals of biomechanics, physiology, it's also how you treat people. So I would walk the floor. If you know how their business model is, you start off as a trainer, you're on the floor, you're talking to people, you're engaging. At the end of it, you have to know what you're talking about, but it's also very important to be a likable person, and for you to relate with them. So I realized that one of the most important attributes is it's how you, again, adapting to them and how you treat them. If someone's at a 10, you got to meet them at a 10. If someone's at a 2, hey, slow down. And that's come full circle for me, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in fitness, as a trainer, even as an owner right now. I don't know if I kind of answered that question.
Yes. Communication, treating people with respect, and learning more.
Yes.
Yeah.
What skills, Angel, do you from the PT days back in personal training, do you actually take from personal training and put them in still applying them right now into your gym business?
Day to day, I'll tell you, and I'll tell you, whether with the trainers or even when I'm on the floor, I still work out. I'm on the floor if I see someone doing someone incorrectly, I approach them with ease if it's something that can hurt them, you know. And it's so crazy because I'm still so sales mindset driven that I'm like, oh, this is an opportunity. This person needs a personal trainer. So I kind of hold back, but I walk them through it. Hey, just, you know, XYZ. If by any chance you need a personal trainer, I'm trying to tell you, we do offer this. We have independent trainers. So I think it's definitely something day to day. You know, I think for the rest of my life, you know, I still, you know, read articles. I may not be as into it as I used to be as far as with continuing education. But when it comes to training, you know, I'm getting older. I have to learn my body. Certain things don't work as far as mobility wise, the way they used to work before, strength. So I'm sure that many people can relate. So if I can share my experience with them and help them before they get hurt or before something happens, I would, absolutely.
Ooh, that was a good answer. So with that being said, is there anything more when it comes to your vision? Because right now you're opening your 5th gym right now, Angel. Of course, your vision, you can tell you're a visionary in all levels, right? Big question is, what is the grand vision of what you're building? I'm kind of curious what's the 5 or 10 years from now.
I lost you there for a second. What was that?
Oh, sorry about that. So when you look at the big vision of Elev8tion Fitness, right? You've been building this for 6 years. You pivoted basically and it's been growing this like a machine the last 6 years. What's the 5 and 10 year vision of the company?
Well, I'll tell you this, and hopefully the next 2 to 3 years, I've discussed this with my partner, and I'll tell you, my partner has a lot to do with our growth. You know, I think prior to him, I thought maybe 3, 4, 5 locations. When he came on board, he's very aggressive. Like, how about 30? And I was like, oh, okay. Kind of took the, you know, gas for air. But when I understood how easy it can happen if you have the right people, the right structure, the right system, to answer your question, I would say maybe, hopefully in 5 years, we're running anywhere between 20, 30 facilities throughout the country, you know, plus, and seeing what's next. And one thing is the gym, you know, obviously there's also merchandise or supplements. There's so many other branches or avenues within this, same industry that we can all work out of or work from and benefit from. So who knows?
I love it. Any more questions you want to ask Jamie, Angel at all? Jamie at all?
No, I honestly just want to say I'm super excited to see you and see the facility and probably go touring the Miami Wynwood area next week when we see you on our Discovery Day. Absolutely.
I'm so looking forward to having you guys. I know that it's been a while. The energy is definitely there. People are excited. And I think the one thing from the last time you guys were here, downtown has definitely changed. I continuously change and equipment. That's probably my problem. And it's good, you know, because members walk in, they're like, what's going on? So since then, that whole area where we had the class, now it's a complete leg room. And we're going to host and have the event on the other side of the gym, the new side.
Wow, that's going to be cool.
Oh my God. Okay, so you have like a retail therapy problem, but for gym equipment.
Correct. Yeah.
I love it. Oh my God, I'm so excited to see.
That is true.
Sweet. Oh my gosh, that is super, super cool. A last question, Angel, as well. All your trainers, obviously in your gym, is it more of an independent trainer model that you do for all your gym as you build your gyms? Is it more of like a combination of employee and independent? I'm kind of curious your model you have there.
So I'll tell you, you know, as a trainer, when I was a trainer, I always wanted to grow. I wanted to make more money. You know, eventually I went independent. So I created a structure where 95% of our trainers are independent. They pay a flat fee. They are insured. They should be charging a good amount for themselves. However, if someone's brand new, we do take them on. And I've created let's just say a series of packages for our own trainers. And then it's not like they have the option to stay on board as an Elev8tion Fitness trainers, and we feed them leads. However, I give them the opportunity and we start them off at a base. And then if they want, after that package is over with us, they could take it on their own and they could charge their own fee and they start paying us a monthly fee. Us as a business, we take a small hit, but I would much rather do that and see the trainer be successful, earn what they deserve to earn, you know, because of their professionalism, education, and so forth. They invest their investments in themselves, and guess what? They stay with us. Our turnover in trainers it's almost 0 to none. If they do leave, it's because they're opening up their own facility, which I applaud them, or they move. That's pretty much it, or they go into another industry. But for the most part, I would say 90-10.
That's incredible.
That actually is incredible. You're right, Jamie. That's actually unheard of. Much gym owners in the industry.
I have other people in the industry tell me, Andrew, you're crazy. You can make so much more money if you do this. I'm like, listen, I get it that this is a business. There's a dollar to it, but I also want to keep people happy. I want them to feel as if this is their own home. I know we have our Elev8tion logo. I don't push the trainers, hey, you have to wear an Elev8tion shirt. I don't know. We'll give you some shirts if you want to get one. And actually they'll buy one and they'll represent the brand as if they are an Elev8tion, and they are an Elev8tion Fitness trainers, but they're independent. So kind of creating that culture. And I think that's been a huge part of our success. Yes.
That's incredible. And the key thing for you, Angel, obviously, is retention of your trainers over like all them years, because you're like, you keep expanding your trainers. And all of a sudden they talk to more trainers like, hey, come over to Elev8tion, because they're so happy. It just ends up being a multiplying effect for you end of the day.
That's right. 1000%.
Wow. That's beautiful. I love that. Yeah. Last thoughts, Jamie. What do you think?
I am excited to rep the Elev8tion shirt. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I love it. What size are you?
Yeah. Small man. Yeah. But that's it. I mean, it just, again, I'm excited to see the growth. Again, even in the last 3, I know what you've done in the last 6 years, but clearly in the last 3, you've upped your game considerably, which is mind blowing given the last 2 years that the world has had.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, Angel, any last words you want to share on the call today, bud?
Nothing. I just want to say I thank you guys. And thank you guys for doing what you do. I know that a lot of people, trainers and everyone needs help. I think if people, they see the value, it's such a no-brainer, and I see what you guys are doing, and I applaud you guys.
You're awesome. Much appreciate you, buddy. Hey, what Angel is your Instagram handles, bud, for both your gym and for you?
My personal, just first name, last name, Angel Bajana, and then the business is just Elev8tion Fitness with an 8.
When you guys are in Miami, in all different kinds of areas, in Vegas, you know where to go.
Appreciate you.
You know where to go. Thanks, Angel. Thanks, Jamie. Always appreciate having our amazing Angel. So, Angel, look forward to seeing you next week, buddy. We appreciate you.
This week. Thank you, buddy. Thank you.